If you're a leader, you're always looking for that competitive edge, right? Well, today we're diving into a framework that helps you find it in maybe the most unexpected place of all, the unique quirks of your own team. This is all about unlocking the breakthrough innovation that's probably sitting in the room with you right now.
So let me just start with a question, and I want you to really think about this. Are your hiring and team building processes accidentally filtering out your most innovative people? It's a huge question because the answer, well, it could be the very thing that's costing you your next big breakthrough.
And this brings us to what we call the innovation blind spot. Now, this is a super common trap, and honestly, a lot of really well-meaning leaders fall right into it. Why? Because it's built on a piece of conventional wisdom that we've all been taught that turns out to be deeply flawed. Okay, so here's the fundamental conflict. We are all conditioned to build well-rounded teams. But here's the twist. True game-changing breakthroughs, they almost never come from people who are just pretty good at everything. They come from spiky people, individuals with this incredible, deeply focused talent in one specific area, even if they have some gaps in others. Think about it this way. You're not hiring for a smooth circle. You're hiring for a sharp, powerful point. And look, this is not just some abstract business theory. As the brilliant Temple Grandin points out, many of history's greatest innovators, half of Silicon Valley, Einstein, Mozart, a lot of these folks would absolutely not fit into our neat little box of neurotypical. The very thing that made them different, the thing that might get them filtered out of a standard interview process today, was the literal engine of their genius. So if we know the problem is this bias we have for well-rounded teams, what's the solution? It's a whole new mental model for talent. We call it the power of the quirk. And it's all about completely reframing how you see the people on your team. So what is the power of the quirk? It's a simple but profound strategic shift. It means we have to stop seeing neurological differences, the quirks, the obsessions, the unique sensitivities, as liabilities that need to be fixed. Instead, we have to start seeing them for what they really are, potential superpowers that we can actually leverage. And as a leader, this really boils down to a choice you make every day. On one side, you've got suppression. This is the default mode for most organizations, right? You see a quirk, you view it as a liability, and the immediate action is to try and fix it. But on the other side, you have leverage. And this, my friends, is where the magic happens. The mindset completely flips. That same quirk is now a superpower, and your action isn't to fix it, it's to find a way to use it. So why does this actually work? Well, it comes down to 3 key ideas. First, we have to understand these aren't disorders. They are specialized cognitive styles. Second, because of that, they act like these powerful, unique lenses on problems, letting people spot patterns that the rest of us just completely miss. And that brings us to the most important takeaway of all. The weirdness isn't a bug. It is the feature. All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get practical. Let's talk about the how. This next section is your leadership playbook for actually putting these quirks to work. It all boils down to these 3 critical actions. First, you have to consciously reframe difference. So when you see an unusual trait, your brain needs to immediately go to specialized cognitive style, not problem to be solved. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, you have to match the quirk to the task. Find the specific business problem that this person's unique mind is perfectly suited to solve. And finally, none of this works, literally 0 of it, if you don't foster psychological safety. You have to create an environment where people feel genuinely safe enough to be their authentic, quirky selves. And that idea of matching quirk to task, it's all about strategic deployment. I mean, think about it. You don't ask a world-class pattern matcher to run your weekly meetings, do you? No. You ask them to find the enemy that's hiding deep inside the code. It's about putting your specialists on the problems that only they can solve. Okay, so here it is, your Monday morning action. The one thing I want you to try next week. I want you to run a quirk audit. It's simple. In your next team meeting, just ask everyone, what's a weird obsession or unique sensitivity you have? Then, as a group, brainstorm how that specific lens could be applied to a current business challenge. I promise you, the insights are going to surprise you. So I'll leave you with this final thought. As you go back to your team, look at that one big, hairy, impossible problem that you're all wrestling with. And instead of asking the usual question, who is most qualified, ask a different one. Ask, what kind of quirky brain is perfectly designed to see the one solution that everyone else is missing? Because finding that answer, well, that just might change everything.